Hi, everybody. Welcome to our quasi-new studio podcast. I'm here with Jodie Rosen at Jodie's office in Rosen Co. And Jodie is an interior designer extraordinaire. You've been doing this You're welcome. You've been doing this for about 15 years now.
Yes. On my own.
On your own.
I've been doing it longer than that.
No, okay.
So basically, I've been working for myself for 15 years.
Right.
Prior to that, I was working at a commercial architectural office doing hospital design, campus, like York University. I did a building there.
Right.
So that was first. And then after babies, this.
So, okay, what made you then transition from going from that to this?
So I always wanted to be in residential design. Commercial was just the first place that I could get a job, quite honestly. And it actually turned out to be the most incredible training ground just to, be able to understand technical drawings, construction, being on site in very simple design, but complex in nature in terms of the overall. And so then it was just, as soon as I had the opportunity, I just jumped into doing something for myself.
Amazing. And then you started off working on your own, and then now you've built I saw a pretty incredible team, right? Which is awesome. I mean, talk about amazing evolution, right? I mean, let's go from one thing, have children, start off on your own, which is scary, right? Build a thriving business, and then grow, and then be able to not only thrive in the business, but also be able to support other people, employees, that help you even go bigger, better, and stronger.
Yes, I mean, that's the perfect way to say it, but that's exactly what it was. It started off in a bedroom while my baby was napping, taking phone calls when, I could, and otherwise trying to work around his schedule. And it very quickly evolved into needing extra hands, and then needing 2 extra hands, or 4, I should say. And so we've sort of grown into this really amazing team of people that now allows us to be able to do really great design, but also support based on customer service, like be able to support that and make sure that our clients are serviced, that if anything comes up, we can handle it.
Right.
And so it's been a really amazing evolution, and everybody here is top notch in terms of what they're able to do and what their capabilities are, and also just really nice to be around.
Yeah. Well,
that's the best part.
No, absolutely, right?
And I'm not just saying that because they're sitting right there.
No, but it's my philosophy. Hire slowly, fire quickly, right? Yeah. It's like I tell people, if it's not an all for one for all kind of mentality, then you're not going to fit into the group. It's just 100%. Not going to work, right?
100%. We're very much a team here. We're very much jump in and help when you can, when someone else needs something. It's the first thing that you need to get doing. But also we laugh, we have a good time. I think it's a fun place to be, in addition to also being, everybody's very talented and we get what we need to get done.
Right.
I really wanted to foster an environment where we're helping each other and working as a team together first, but that we also, hopefully genuinely like each other as well and like coming in to work. So. Yeah.
No, it's like how we run our team too. It's a one for all for one kind of mentality, and it's every one of us can step in for the other person on a moment's notice if need be, if someone can't be, because obviously you can't be at 2 places at once, especially in our business.
I've tried.
It doesn't work very well, does it? No. I've tried to figure out how to teleport, but
it's not. Someone tells me the answer to that, I'm all for it. Totally. But otherwise, no. It means that you have to have the right people in place
for sure.
to make that work. So
no, absolutely. And it makes a world of difference because, I get feedback from my clients with my guys too. It's just like, oh my God, Daniel or Gareth, they're amazing. They've been so helpful. It's so
and
good.
That's music to your ears, right?
Totally, because you've got the right people in the right spots.
Yeah, 100%. So I don't know if you know, but we've recently changed our company name.
Yes.
It was originally my name, and we shifted it to be. I mean, it still has my name in it, but more so that we're really talking about it's a team now, and I want to make sure that that's reflected right from the very beginning when we answer the phone, that it isn't just Jodie Rosen and only talk to Jodie Rosen. It's that there are lots of people here that are super competent, super capable, and talented, and so that name is now a true reflection of that.
Amazing. Yeah. So before we get more and more into the whole evolution of Jodie Rosen to Rosen Co. and all that great, in this great space that we're sitting in right now, I want to talk about how we met, because I think it's a cool story.
Yes.
And I think it's also a really fun story, and it really reflects on how small the world is and how people can be in one place and know each other, end up in a completely different place, and which I don't want to ruin it, but okay, so obviously we both got COVID puppies, right? Rocket, your guy.
So hold on. I do have to set the record straight. He is not a COVID puppy.
He's not COVID. Oh.
So
How's
we
Rocket?
put a deposit down on this dog in October 2019.
Oh, okay.
So he came just as COVID was happening, and so we got really lucky. But he is not officially a COVID dog.
Right.
Just for the record.
Okay, all right, okay.
I've wanted him my entire life, and it wasn't COVID that pushed that.
Okay, all right. Okay, ours was a COVID puppy.
Okay, fine. No judgment.
No, well, we had a dog earlier. She had passed away, and it had been 6 years. And long story short, son comes in and shows us a video of Connor McDavid doing squats, holding his Bernedoodle puppy.
Right.
And we were like, oh my God, that was the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
Called the breeder, said, we gave you a deposit 6 years ago. Would you still honor it? She said yes. And Connor came home 2 months later.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so just perfect timing.
Yeah.
And of course, we named him Connor because the whole thing started because of Connor McDavid. Right?
Yeah, of course.
So your guy is Rocket.
Yes.
So anyways, we met each other because of the dogs, right? Walking through the neighborhood Starbucks, getting our favorite drinks.
Yes.
And got chit-chatting, got to know each other, walking through the neighborhood. Fast forward to last summer, we're getting onto the plane to go to Portugal.
Yep.
And all of a sudden I hear Mark, and it's you guys sitting like right behind us right, on the plane.
Yeah. So we had a sleepover on our first, hang.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're in Portugal, and then we're like, bye, have a great trip.
Yeah,
See you
we kind of talk about where we're going, itineraries, right? And so I'll tell my part, and then you can tell your part. So I think this is quite funny. So we're 2 nights in Lisbon, going to our next destination, which is, oh my God, I forgot the name of the place.
So did I, but I was about to say that it's like the tiniest little dot on a map.
Yeah,
like you wouldn't, it's not a common place you would run into someone.
No, and it's like literally the only thing in this little town is the hotel, which is owned by Louboutin, Christian Louboutin, the shoe designer, right? Yes. And so my wife, who happens to love Louboutins, is freaking out and is so excited to get to this hotel. And so we go, we check in. She's like going crazy. We get into the room, we unpack. I put my baby down. I'm going down to the pool. She's talking to her mom because she's telling her about the hotel.
Yeah.
I go, I will just, come down when you're ready. I'll meet you down at the pool. She's like, okay. I'm walking into the pool. I had my head down because I was looking at something on my phone.
And
all of a sudden I hear, Mark, I look up, it's you guys plus three other couples.
No, 2 other couples from Toronto also that were randomly there as well.
And we all know each other.
Yeah.
So we're sitting literally in the middle of nowhere. Like the only thing in this town is this hotel and the 6 of us.
Yeah.
Like, what are the chances?
Yeah. That was very fun.
Yeah. So it was like, and then from there, it just kept having all these like random encounters all over the place.
Yeah, like literally to the point now where I'm like, where are you guys going to be tonight? Because either I want to be there or I don't want to be there, but I know that we're going to be there anyway at the same place.
Yeah. Even like a spring break, we're both in Whistler, right?
Yeah, that's
same restaurant.
So we're like clearly on the same path and have the same interests.
Totally.
Including half marathons too.
Yes. Which we just talked about earlier.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, knowing that we were hanging out and talking to each other, I, got more and more, obviously I'm a real estate agent, dig more into...
You are?
Yeah.
I've never seen your face on a billboard before.
Stop it. Jodie. Okay, where was I? I lost my train of thought. Okay, so what I was saying was I did obviously some more research on you and started looking at your Instagram page, which is amazing, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
For everyone who's watching this, please follow along on your IG page because she's just the videography and the photography that you guys are using and the imagery and that you guys are creating is, like, if you're into interior design, it is absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
So you're welcome.
So nice.
You're welcome. So it's at Rosen Co, right?
At Rosen Co Design Studio.
Yeah, at Rosen.
It's a bit of a mouthful now.
Yeah, okay. And I was like, wow, it's got a lot of my vibe. It's like, I love what you do. And I'm like, there's got to be more of a connection here to do something where we can collaborate.
Yeah, well, I think there's a major synergy between real estate and design, but not just, obviously that's an obvious, but even just what we can do to help your clients and people who are moving in or people who are considering moving or buying a house.
Yeah.
All of that's part of it. So
totally.
For sure.
And I was like, called you up. I'm like, Jodes, we got to get together. Let's go for a coffee.
Yeah, let's
figure out how we can make this work, right? And now here we are sitting here today.
Here we are.
Yeah. So that's kind of the evolution of our encounters and our stories and how we got to know each other.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot of fun. So
For sure.
Okay, so let's now get back to this.
Let's be serious. Go for it.
Okay. All right, so we know we started the business 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It's evolved into Rosen Co. So what would you say like your guys' area of specialty really is at this point? Like, what are you guys really renowned for?
We are, that's cute. I hope we're renowned for something. I always giggle when I'm like, are we renowned for things? Like, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are primarily residential design. Because of my commercial background, we do sometimes dabble in a little bit of commercial design, but that's not our primary focus.
Right.
We really focus on sophisticated, timeless, and classic, I would say. So we kind of fall somewhere in the middle of like not super modern, not super traditional, somewhere kind of in the world of contemporary, transitional.
Right. Yeah.
But, you know, we obviously have our own little flair that I've been told is pretty obvious when you see it. But I really like to think that we really work within what our clients want and then we're able to deliver, you know, within that for what a client wants their look to be.
Right, okay. And just, you know, for fun and giggles here, like, you know, what's the most like crazy thing someone's ever had you do? You're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this, but like that's what they want, so I'll do it.
Oh my God, that's a really hard question. I wish you would have asked me that before we started this, so I could think about it,
takes the
or
spontaneity out of
ask like, hey guys, what's the answer to that question?
Come on, it's off the top of your head.
I would say like, there's probably nothing like overly crazy. I think sometimes there are like big parameters around like, I don't like this. I like this. I'm not sure about that. Don't show me that. Like, so we'll have to work within that. I don't think there's anything where, like, you know, we haven't done like a swing in someone's bedroom or like, you know.
Okay, that was a bit random.
I know, but like, it's the only, like a pole. Like, there's nothing that I could think of where it's like, whoa, like I can't believe we're doing this. And now I'm gonna just like say, guys, am I missing something? Is there anything that we like have done? I don't think so. No one's asked us anything crazy.
No one crazy? Okay. Okay, all right, so let's go back the other direction. Then what's the one thing you've done that you're like, oh my God, that is just amazing. We rocked it. Like, that just looks like that is definitely something we got to show for the rest of our lives.
I think every project is very different. So we really do try and reflect who lives in the space and not just prescribe what we do and what our style is.
Right.
We have a project that we're about to photograph in the next month or so that is a very different look than what we're used to. It was a new build in the Armour Heights area. And it's like just really different, really almost like has like a bit of like some English sort of like country kind of vibe to it, but also a little bit Parisian. Like it's different. It's very different, and we're super excited to show that off. That was a full new build, furniture, you know, the whole package. So that'll be exciting. So that's coming up soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
You hit on something that I think that was important. You said we're like, you know, we don't really try and push our agenda. We try and work with what's important to the client.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's one of the things, you know, I've always like, you know, I've done a lot of work with builders and also, you know, sold and built some of my own houses and, you know, done, you know, a lot of the stuff along the way. And sometimes the interior designers come in and I'm like, oh my God, what are you thinking? Like, what, like, and, you know, and.
So that part's hard. Like there's lots of different, there's so many interior designers in the city and particularly in the neighborhood that we sort of work in and play in. And so I think what you know, there's different versions, right? There are some designers who are like, this is my style, this is my vibe. Either you're hiring me for this because you like it or like go away.
Right.
We've always been much more, I will often catch myself saying things like, I don't live here, like you are gonna live here. So when we're done, it doesn't matter whether I think, like obviously, of course, somebody's calling me and wants our opinion on something, and we do provide that, and I'm quite blunt, and I'm not shy to say, you know, like that's a weird idea, or that's, you know, no, you don't want to do that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it has to reflect their home in a curated, styled way.
Right.
And so that's what we try to do. So we really try to listen to what works with the client's actual functionality needs, the practicality of how they live. Do they have kids? Do they have a dog? Like whatever, you know, we need to do.
Yeah.
And then we want to go through inspo and figure out like what makes this person tick. Are you like, you know, void of color? Do you want lots of color? Do you want, you know, things that are really kind of crazy and precious and delicate, or is it more like rough and tumble? And so that's what we try and figure out and then work towards that.
Right. Okay. Cool. Yeah, because I mean, it's it's interesting. Like obviously, like being the agent, I get to go through a lot of houses on a regular time, and you walk into things, and you're just like, whoa, like sorry. You had a designer do this?
Oh no!
Like it's
terrible.
Like I'm like, and I don't say it. I mean, obviously, but I'm thinking it.
Yeah.
Right. And and I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's my job to help guide a client, right? So clients can come to us with lots of ideas, but then we have to take those ideas and really like put that into a package that consistently makes sense throughout.
Right.
And that's a talent. Like we have to figure that out, and we have to also then be able to communicate in a way that the client wants to receive it.
You mean like a good listener?
Yeah. An active listener.
Yeah.
I hear that. I but
no, but it's the same
don't
thing.
want to do that.
Yeah, it's the same thing with us, right? I mean, not so much on the listing side, but on the buying side.
Yeah.
Listening to what the client actually
For sure.
like what their needs and what their wants are, and
for sure.
how they're gonna want to buy the home they're gonna have their family live in.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, and so many people just want to push their own agenda.
Well, I was gonna say I would think it would actually be quite like hard almost when you walk into a space with somebody and the client's like your client is like super gung-ho about a space, but you're like, wait, like you need to pay attention to this and this.
Yeah.
But that's the difference I would think between a great agent and a agent, right?
Yeah.
Is like, because then they trust you.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's the whole thing.
As opposed to just like pushing a sale.
Yeah. So our whole thing is like it's real estate advice you can trust, right?
Right.
I'm not going to tell you something.
Is that on the billboard too? I think so.
Yes, it is actually. God, you're paying attention. But it's like I'm not going to tell. If I was working, I'm not going to tell you something I wouldn't want told to me because it doesn't do either one of us any good.
What's the value?
Right? Like, it's like this is about a longevity play, not 100%. Like a short-term thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of people get really frustrated with this is that they, especially with real estate, because it's very emotional, right? It's very passionate, and you get something and then you can see I always joke about with like Wolf appliances, everyone gets caught up in their shiny red knobs. And I'm like, there's more than just the red knobs that are going on there. You gotta look at the big,
you have to pay attention to
all of it, right?
100%.
And
people get really jazzed about the red knobs.
I know. I never understand. I'm like, okay, they're just red knobs. It's
I know. Well, it's like the red shoe. I like the sole of the shoe. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's just a red sole.
Yeah. It's a mark, right?
Yeah.
But it's just interesting, and you. So when you're showing these homes, and it's like it's exactly what you said. Like, okay, whoa, let's put the brakes on for a second, and let's look at all this stuff, right? And one of the things like with me is like because I have done so much work in construction and know it quite well. I would tell a client very quickly if I think a house is not built well and built very poorly. Right. And there's very easy ways to find that out.
Yeah.
Without having to do a lot of necessary digging.
Right.
And and then you have to kind of explain, well, this is actually like lipstick on a pig. Like this is not where you want to go because
we say that all the time.
Yeah, because it's gonna be problematic down the road.
Yep.
And what they've done is they just cover things up to make it look good and she and away you go.
Like
right?
trick you into being like, I'm super down for it.
Yeah. So where do you? So this is I think an interesting question. A lot of the you see modern design has come very much on the forefront for houses in over the last probably 10 years.
Yep.
Right. I've always had a bit of an issue with it personally because I think I'm a bit more like longevity kind of a guy. Yes. So I'm like the outside to me I always thought has to be a little bit more on the traditional side, and you can go a little bit more modern, have fun on the inside.
Yeah.
Because that can always be easily changed later on down the road.
100%.
Where the outside you can't really do much with.
Yes.
And so
what really drives me crazy, these big modern houses with these massive windows, and then they have to close the blinds all the time. And they're just always closed. What's the point?
Yeah. No, for sure. And so, but yet builders still want to do, and the consumer wants that. But my concern is, how's that house going to look 10 years down the road, 15 down the road, when you have to go and resell it?
Right.
And all of a sudden it's like, this, because you look at some of those designs, like say from the late 80s and late 90s, like with all the glass block and all that stuff, right?
Although I think that's coming back.
Oh my God, seriously?
Yes. We haven't inspected it yet, but that's what I hear.
Okay, it all makes its way back.
Yeah.
So it's just, it's just interesting to see like those transitions over time.
Yeah.
And, I guess one, like, where do you see like, some of the trends going with that? Because you do outside and inside, right? Like you don't just do.
So we will do outside for us, we are not architects. So when we're doing a new build or we're helping somebody with a reno, we can get involved in choosing, like if an architect is a part of the exterior facade, we can help with windows, with window colors, with doors, with staining, like all of those sort of components to it. Obviously, we do all the lighting outside.
Right.
We select the fixtures, but we're not like picking the brick, but we would be like, this brick looks nice, right? Like, so the color of this, if we're picking between these three things, so we definitely help with that for sure.
Right.
And then we also do exterior furniture as well. So, but I mean, we still like to work with landscape architects and then architects who are actually building the home.
Okay, so then out of the process, then just for fun, like, is there one thing that's like you really like doing more, like between, say, outside, inside, or the furniture?
Well, I always tell people we're interior designers, so the exterior for us, like, we can do it. Like, obviously we have an eye to be able to say, like, proportion wise, this works, this doesn't work, this color is going to work with this color, so that's our expertise. But I mean, I much prefer interiors. I would just be interior all day long if we could.
Yeah. But as far as like then interior furniture versus like actual interior, like the actual like cosmetic of the house.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I mean, they're so different. So
I know.
I will say, like, for me to keep me excited and busy about what I'm doing, I like to do 100 different things in a day. So I love the variation of sometimes being like really nitty gritty into the construction. I find it's easier to sort of work through the drawings. Like I love drawings. I love the technicality of like the notes and the dimensions and the proportion and scale of things. So I really enjoy that part of it. But then sometimes it's so fun to just be able to like touch all the fabrics and be like, okay, like this is the scheme and this is what we're putting together and be a part of that process. So I really love both of them. I couldn't say one versus the other.
Yeah.
But I think because of my background and more commercial, like I like to be in CAD. That's our program, like our design program. I really like to be in CAD. I don't get to be in it as often as I used to be in it. But when I can like just sort of zone out and draw, it's my favorite. Right. So I think I answered your question. I'm not sure that I did.
Yeah, no, you did. No, you did. Very well done.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so obviously you have this incredible space here we're sitting in right now. So we're sitting in your office. Yeah. And how long have you been here for?
So I think this is our 6th year. So we're like 6.5 years.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. And then and I'm assuming you have clients come here.
Yeah. So actually one of the biggest changes for us when we got the space, I used to have meetings in Starbucks. Like I would schlep all the tiles and like bring things to show people and do presentations, and I'd have to do things in little pieces because I couldn't carry everything all at the same time. And so really the big change for us in this space is that clients can now come here. We do full presentations of everything all at once. Right. And then it also helps because when there is like, oh, you know what, I don't love, this one little subway tile that we're showing, we can like find something else, or like, oh, I don't like that wallpaper. Like, let's look at another wallpaper, and it can happen like in a minute and we're done. Right. As opposed to like, okay, I'll meet with you in 2 weeks and then we'll go back. Like, it's a much simpler process for us now. And we really like the totality of seeing everything all at once is, I think, really helpful for our clients and helpful for us to be able to develop it that way.
Well, and also you're on Tychos, right? So you're in kind of like designer heaven. Yeah. Like everything is like right around the corner from here. So
right around the corner. Yeah. I think also like one of the nice things for everyone in the office is that like on a nice day to go and walk and grab fabrics. Like I think sometimes the girls are ladies. What do we want to say? Not girls anymore. They've graduated to the people.
I don't know. Like the team. The team.
The team, I think sometimes will be like, oh, I just have to go like, down the street to grab a sample. And like really it's like, I just want to get outside for a walk, and it's totally fun to do. So, so yeah, we're definitely in like the mecca of designer love.
For sure. For sure.
Excitement here.
Okay. So just a couple things and we'll wrap this up. But one, what do you think or feel or see is going to be the next really big thing in design? Like whether it's for houses, like, or like
So I'm like laughing because I'm not trendy. I really don't get into like, oh, this is the big trend, so we're going to show this. Actually, the contrary. I feel like most clients for us are like trying to avoid something that looks trendy because they want it to last longer.
Well, you can spend all that money, right? Like,
that's right. Yeah. So like I'm not trendy. Like I would say that in general, like I'm not a
Right.
super trendy person,
Right.
like generally speaking. So I don't know. Like I'm not paying attention to trends. I just
Right.
know what gets us excited here, what we look at and go like, oh my God, this is gorgeous. Let's do this, but let's change it like that, or let's move this there. Whatever we're doing to put our own mark on it is ever evolving. I think 2 years ago, if you told me that I was going to be putting brown in people's houses, I would be like, never.
Right.
And now we're, selecting things that are more warm, that are, we just picked a marble yesterday that's like literally brown. Like it looks like a tree trunk brown. And
oh, wow.
like the team was like, there's no way she's going to pick that. And then I'm like, yep, that. Like, so I think like it's ever evolving. I don't think there's like a, specific trend or thing that we would subscribe to. AI is a big thing that I do not want to like even put my brain to, but I know that I'm like late on the wagon for that. So I'm like kicking and screaming the whole way, hoping that I don't actually have to start doing things like that.
That's
with
actually
AI.
That's actually a good thing to talk about real quickly before.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you're reluctant with the AI?
I'm super reluctant. I think like this whole concept of, hey, ChatGPT, like show me a living room that has black wallpaper with a marble mantle and like sconces on the side, which is actually, this is something that really happened in my house because my husband thinks that he can design based off of ChatGPT.
Dave, no.
Yes.
Really?
Yes, this is like a big fight in our house now. And so this picture gets generated.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a great tool in the sense that you can get an overall idea. But my argument is that there are so many details that are involved in our job to execute something to look really special and interesting that ChatGPT is just not equipped at this time to be able to like pull all that together. So even though, yes, like in theory, the concept of it is fine, it's not perfect. It's not like a well thought out like it doesn't look like what it would really look like if we had the process in place of like thinking about things and looking at textures and really paying attention to the details of how far does the mantle project out. And so I mean it's a great start, but I'm really like I'm like last to get on board with that, which is that would be typical of me on most things where I'm always like the last to get into something.
But it's not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, I think like same thing with us. Like like it's helped us immensely, more so from a writing perspective. Right. So because of having to write up listings.
Yes.
I'm laying out some secrets.
Yeah, I know. Are you supposed to say that out loud?
No, but no. But the thing is, like, it's because I'm still feeding it all the information that it needs to put it together.
Sure.
Right.
You're wordsmithing it in a way that doesn't make you spend as much time as you were.
Yeah. So like what so what used to take me like an hour to do like write up a description of a product, because you want to do your best to get the information across. Like
Yeah, I think it's for that. Yes, it makes total sense. Yeah. I think I'm too much of a purist. Like I'm really so reluctant to like do it at all. I don't know. I can't get on board. I'm telling you. But
I find like it's just my kids are laughing like, Dad, you're gonna lose the art of being able to write. I'm like, no, because I'm still feeding it all. Like I'm like, like here's the property. It's 123 Main Street. It's located here. Here are a bunch of the features of the house. Yeah. These are the school districts that it's in. Right. This is about the walkability. This is like so it's all the things that I would say anyways. Right. It's just now taking and organizing it in a way that can do it literally within seconds.
Don't get me wrong. I know it's a very, very powerful tool. I hear about it all the time, so I know that it's very powerful. I just think for me here, and I know some of the team does use it when they're looking at, we'll have like emails where it's like a tricky email, right? That has to go to a client. And so sometimes like, the tone of the email has to be like adjusted so that it's finessed a bit. I don't.
Well, see, like, so
I get it, and I'm happy for anyone else to use it. I'm just like,
but again, like I think like I said, for like what you do and what we do, I think again, there's parts of it are helpful, but the point is you still need that expertise.
Yes, and I think that's
the thing, because buying, like if it's buying a home, there's such an emotional component that goes to it.
100%.
And same thing with like in design, there's still such an emotional component that goes to it.
100%.
And that, and then being able to touch it and feel it and sit in it and like, like that is all super important. And that's what actually makes it I think, really special and really unique. And that's where people like yourself or someone, can really come in and be able to deliver that message across. So make sure that they can get that experience. And I think that's what it's about. It's about the experience.
100%. It's not just about the look for us. I mean, just to like wrap it all together into a beautiful, pretty bow. Like, it's not just about the look. So it's not just about saying like, hey, chat. It's chat. We call him chat in our house. But hey, chat, like show me da 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 da. It's the care and the like the feel of what are all these little details going to feel like, and what is this all going to, how is someone going to walk in and have a reaction to?
Right.
That I think is the most important thing, and that's what we're creating, right?
Yeah.
We're creating, something from nothing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's also, I think, at the end when you're done and to see the expression on the person's face is like worth its weight in gold.
Well,
right?
I mean, listen, that's the most satisfying. So if you didn't ask a question, but I'm going to answer a question as if you did. What's the most satisfying part of our job? When we
wait. What's the most satisfying part of your job?
Good question.
Thank you.
Come up with that?
I don't know. It just came to me.
The most satisfying part for us isn't, figuring out a detail and getting it written down on paper. And it's not about getting a price and getting it, all those things are great. And that's part of it. But for us, it's the end when someone walks through and says, I can't believe that my house looks like this. It gives me goosebumps even now just thinking about it. When they're like, this is like better than I could have ever imagined. And we're just so happy. And like, we have cards that like will get sent where someone will say to us, like, you just thank you so much for being, and like, there's nothing better than that.
Yeah.
And so we can work with someone for, 6 months, or we can work with someone for 2 years, 3 years to build a new build house. And we get to the same place of like, just we've created this thing that is now like a true reflection of who they are, done in a really beautiful way, where they can entertain their friends and family, where they get to hang out and feel comfortable. And that's like unreal.
Yeah.
And so that's really the magic.
Oh,
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, let's end it on some rapid questions.
Okay.
Okay. This is just about getting to know Jodie Rosen.
Okay.
I do know Jodie Rosen.
I know, but maybe like you're going to learn something.
I'm going to learn something new. Okay, so favorite thing for breakfast?
Oh, berries. Berries. I'm very particular about my berries.
Like any kind of berries or?
Raspberries, blueberries, blackberries, but they have to come from a specific place.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like very specific. Very specific.
Okay. And some of these things are actually on your website. I thought they were actually quite cute and funny. So I'm like, I want to go for them and something. So one of the things you said was your spirit animal was a cat. Yes. But then you said to be something a little bit more dramatic. Yes. You changed it to a leopard.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think like
which is but you're a dog person.
Okay, so I was gonna say I'm an animal person, so I should I would have a cat, but my husband does not like cats, so
either do I.
Oh, what is that about? Cats are so cute.
I'm highly allergic to them.
Okay, so is he. So
it's just and I don't know, something about like the difference between a dog is just the way they interact with you and
is the best.
Is the best.
Yes, is the best. So a cat, because I'm a little bit more like I want to be around people when I want to be around people, and then I'm very reserved and don't. But a leopard, because a leopard is just really beautiful and special and cool, and so that's like a better version of a cat. That's my explanation for that.
Okay, and I saw you say like your favorite crayon color is pink.
Like I have to like remember what I said.
It's okay.
So pink is my favorite color. I'm a very big girly girl, which is like crazy that I then have a house full of boys at home, including my dog. But my dog wears a pink collar because I love pink. But all boys all the time, and I just like try and infuse it in areas whenever I can.
Right. Okay. All right. And favorite movie of all time?
Okay. So really, the real is Clueless. But I don't put that on my website. On my website, I think it says Love Actually.
Yeah.
For the music. Yeah. And for, I'm a little bit of a romantic, and the storyline of all that is all lovely. But Clueless is actually my favorite movie of all time. I just figured that probably wouldn't look so good on a website. So.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite band to see in concert?
Dave Matthews Band. I've seen him many, many, many times in concert.
Right.
So,
okay. All right. Favorite go-to restaurant in the city?
Oh my God. I can't answer that question.
Why?
Like, I don't know.
If you're going to go out for dinner tonight and you're like, okay, what's
okay, fine,
what's
Raza.
what?
Raza.
Raza. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that wasn't so hard.
No, it wasnn't. I just had to I needed a minute. I wasn't ready for that.
But that's the whole thing. It's supposed to be spontaneous.
Okay, fine.
Okay. All right. Also on your website, it says your favorite place to design in the house is the powder room.
Yes.
And the reason being was why?
Okay, so I love a powder room because I think it's I think of it as sort of like a little bit of a jewel box.
Right.
It's an opportunity to have fun. It's an opportunity to do something that you may not otherwise want to do in the house. So like a funky wallpaper, crazy color. I just think it's a really beautiful place. It also we have to be careful with the finishes, but we don't have to be too careful.
Right.
And so I think we get an opportunity to just pick really interesting things in there. So yeah, it's my favorite.
Okay, awesome.
Really my favorite.
And lastly, just what's next for Rosen Co?
That's a great question. I think we're just going to continue to put out really beautiful, thoughtful designs. Continue to knock our clients' socks off in terms of the way we can manage their project, care for them while we're working on their project. I always say to people when I'm interviewing with someone new, I will say you will speak to us more than you will speak to your best friend during the course of this process.
That's very familiar.
Right? And so I think that, us being able to continue to show care and to continue to be able to just service our clients in the best way we possibly can is the ultimate goal, honestly, and put forward exciting, interesting spaces. So yeah. Just keep doing the same and make it just better.
All right. Well, I am very much looking forward to working together and continuing this amazing relationship.
Let's figure that out.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you so much for doing this today.
Pleasure. Thank you for
coming.
coming.
Thank you. And then thanks for watching, everybody. And we'll speak to you again next time. Take care. Bye.